I grew up in San Diego, not my whole life, but most of my childhood life. And there was this one season that my parents lived in this town called Escondido, and they lived on a lot that had 35 citrus trees. And my very favorite thing to do was to go out in the yard and to peel a fresh orange, pick it right off my favorite navel tree, and to peel and smell the orange. To me, this smells like summer. It tastes like sunshine. And I was thinking about this today because I keep buying cases of oranges because they're just delicious. But this is a perfect picture of how, especially if you're a new creator, how you should approach, how you can think about things that you can make for printables. This outer peel represents a theme, a holiday, a season, a unit like bugs or summer or back to school or apples. And so you want to think of as many outer things. Hey, Doris, you want to think of as many outer topics as you can think of as you are considering what you want to make for a printable. But then you want to peel it back. You want to peel off that outer coat. Okay, so and we're just going to talk, I'm going to pick a random theme of, let's do oranges. Okay, so we're going to pick a random theme of oranges. That would be that outer coat. And now I'm going to pick an age group. I'm going to say, let's do kindergarten, just because it's easy for me to think of on the fly. So we're going to peel back the outer layer of kindergarten, and I need to see what the goals and objectives or skills that a kindergartner would need to know. Hey, Karen, we're peeling off the outer coating of a topic to see, well, what lies beneath that topic. So when I peel off the outer coating of an orange, and now I start to think about it from the perspective, okay, so here is, in this example, a kindergartner. It can be any grade. It can be any section of school. It can be a blog. This could have been nature adventures for your family. So you peel off that outer coating, and now you look at the inside, and what you'll see is that there are different, trying to do this on the camera is different. Obviously, you know what the interior of an orange looks like, but there are different, staying with the orange theme, different skills or things that we would want a kindergartner to be able to understand do. Hey, Karen. And hey, Crystal. So again, we've peeled back the outer coating of, I want to do something about oranges. We've thought kindergarten. So now we're looking at what would a kindergartner need to know? Well, a kindergartner needs to recognize their letters. Okay, so letter recognition. So we're going to peel back the orange, and in our example, we're talking about oranges, and we're talking about kindergartner. So one of the wedges would be letter recognition, right? So what else would a kindergartner need to know? A kindergartner would need to be able to count. Kindergartners, by the end of kindergarten, typically need to count to 100. So again, looking through the lens of the orange, through the outer, we peeled off the orange. Other skills. A kindergartner would also need to be able to recognize their shapes. And yes, I'm totally going to eat this when I'm done. Okay, so shape recognition. They need to know their shapes. They need to know their colors. They need to know things like patterns, etc. You brainstorm. So you peel off the outer coat and you think, in that age group, what are the different skills? What are the objectives that I want that person, that student, that end buyer, what do I want them to get from this printable? So once I have my list of, hey, these are the goals or the skills, now I go back to the outer peel. Now I go, okay, now I'm going to think about that from the lens of an orange. Okay. So now I can say a theme about oranges. Now I can do something with letter recognition. So maybe I get some cute clip art about oranges. And maybe I have the kids do a matching game where they pair uppercase, lowercase. Counting to 100. There's a million ways they can do that. You can get 100 oranges, and if you're me, that would be like the best thing on the planet. But if you're kids, it could maybe even just be a chart with oranges where they count by tens. I'm making this up as I go. Shapes. You can do oranges where you have different shapes on them, and the kids recognize the shapes. Colors, you can have different colored oranges. You can have this one be red, you can have this be yellow, etc. You can make matching games, and you can do patterns where you have an orange with this kind of dots and an orange with this kind of dots, and then what would be next. You can do some kind of patterning thing. The beauty of seeing the topic and peeling it back to the pieces on the inside. What are the skills or the objectives? Once you know that, here's the magic comes in. Now you can do any theme. Any theme. Now you can do unicorns. You can do holidays. You can do music. You can do math. Just straight up basic math. You can do maps. You can do history. Or any other theme that you think of. So when you approach printables, and I see this as I play the brainstorm game with everybody as they come into the tribe, or as I talk to new creators out in the Make and Sell printable group, every single person starts by saying oranges. I want to do oranges. Oranges. But once they see that once you peel the orange back and you find the inner objectives, the inner goals, once you figure that out, oranges can change to anything. And suddenly you have this master set of skills that you want your ideal age group to learn. Once you have that, and then you make or buy or create or acquire templates and design. So you brand, like, this is what I want my things to feel like. This is what I want them to look like. All that takes the most work. Figuring out what's inside, creating the templates. But from there, all you do is switch topics and switch clip art and fine-tune the language and the vocabulary and the activities to fit into that topic. And truly you go from, gosh, all I can think about is an activity about oranges, to so many activities that you start to panic because there aren't enough hours in the day to make everything that will fly through your head. So find your orange, peel it back, and figure out what the goals are, what the objectives are for your lesson. It's called reverse engineering. So you begin planning with the end in mind. From there, it gets easier and easier to create 5, 10, 500 printables that are highly impactful. You can see that if all you do is try to create an orange activity, that might not have as much value as if you create an activity that builds these kinds of skills with the theme of an orange. Does that make sense? So anyway, I'm off to the races. I've got lots to do today, but as I was getting ready to eat my orange snack, I thought I would share that with you. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to be unplugged. My whole family has an extended 4th of July weekend. We're in the United States. We celebrate the 4th of July. And we're going to celebrate it as a family, tight-knit, and just kind of hanging out and doing what we do as sailors. So if you see that I'm not very active this weekend, it's because I'm out playing with the boys. Have fun. Bye.